My beautiful friends, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to come on and do a reading, and all of a sudden my heart's beating really fast. So maybe you're going through some sort of acceleration of the heart, I'm hearing, or some sort of trigger, but we'll see. I felt called to affairs of the heart, and I'm going to start with this deck to see what your current energy is, and then we'll take it from there. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I had something magical happen yesterday. I got my phone fixed, but also I found a blue jay feather, and I've always wanted to find a blue jay feather. I've always had blue jays, like I've always fed blue jays, and there's so many blue jays around, but they've never left me a blue feather. And I found this one with just a little bit of blue on it. And then 20 minutes later, I found this one. So it's going in the feather collection. It's going in the feather collection, but I wanted to show you guys because it's just magical. All right, it immediately made me think of communication as well. Authentic communication, perhaps. So learning how to speak your authentic truth. Maybe you're somebody who has a fear of sharing your voice, or you have a fear of speaking your truth, or maybe you struggle with boundaries or have struggled with boundaries in the past. Because like I said, it immediately made me think of communication, like the throat chakra. All right, so we're going to get into this reading and we're going to see what's going on for you right now. I am feeling a little bit of Phoenix energy as well, so maybe you are learning to speak your authentic truth. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. We're going to start with this deck. So what energy is this collective in right now? What might you be reflecting about? What are you dealing with? What are you going through? I want to know. So this collective, your focus, your main energy right now. Okay, so we do have separation. Breakup, no contact. So clearly in separation with someone here. Interesting. We have celebrate. Fun, party, celebration, events. So you could be coming out of, we have distance. So clearly I felt called to this deck for a reason, right? Although this reading is going to be about you, I was called to this deck. I was feeling the energy of love. And remember, this doesn't have to be romantic love. This could be a separation with a family member, a friend, or it could be romantic love, but in separation. And we also have celebrate, which perhaps right now you are learning to celebrate your independence or celebrate who you are. Perhaps you are making more time in your life for fun things, getting together with friends, celebrating your own achievements. Even I was hearing, perhaps you've been struggling in separation with someone and you're starting to get your sparkle back. I just heard how when Stella gets her groove back, or wasn't that a movie? How Stella got her groove back? I don't even know the name of it, but that's what I was hearing. And actually, while I was picking decks, I was hearing the song, I Had to Lose You to Love Me. So perhaps right now you are very focused on celebrating self. All right. You could also be separated by distance from someone. Let's keep going. We have air sign. So you could be an air sign or dealing with an air sign, but you could also be in better mental energy. This card, it has a sword on it, right? Swords, mental thought. But this sword has growth around it. So perhaps you are focusing on having a more positive mindset, a healthier mindset, especially with this celebrate card, right? Learning to speak to yourself in a healthier way, I'm hearing. We have fire on the bottom. All right. I want to get one more for this. Air sign. Yeah, perspective, healthier perspective, a shift in perspective. Like I said, more positive mindset, healthier mindset. Change, open-minded, new perspectives. Healthier perspectives is what I'm hearing. All right. 2 more for this top row. 2 more for the energy that this collective is in. You could be focusing on your dreams. Stars aligning, dreams coming true, fulfillment, inner fulfillment. Perhaps one of your healthier mindsets is that the love that you are looking for is within you, right? That you are your own fulfillment. You could be focused on inner fulfillment. You could also be focused on a dream. Like I was talking about with the blue jay feather, right? Authentic expression, sharing your voice. I'm seeing the nightingale. Oh, we have friendship. We have friendship on the bottom. So you could definitely be spending time with friends, having fun, support system, right? Right underneath stars aligning. So you could be aligning with your soul tribe right now. You could have found a friend that's just a dream come true is what I'm hearing. Again, celebration here. Maybe even looking at friendship in a different way, right? That's something that I've been going through. That's beautiful. And your friends should support you in your dreams, right? Your friends should be supporting you in your dreams. Not literally, like, I mean, that'd be great if they could come. I'm talking about like dreaming. That's wonderful if they're supporting you in your dreaming state. But I mean, when you have a dream, the right people will support you and encourage you. They won't tell you, no, you shouldn't be doing that, or you're crazy for thinking you can do that, right? We also have healing. So you could also be, I just saw it, difficult self-truths, acknowledgement, inner work. So you could also be aligning with people on this healing journey that are, you know, also mirroring back to you. Hang on, while he's using the bathroom, hang on. So anyway, you could be aligning with, every time he uses the bathroom, he goes into this little box that if you have a cat, you know cats love boxes. So I have this box that I can't bring myself to get rid of because he always goes in it and messes about in the box after he uses the bathroom. But what I was saying is you could be aligning with friends on this healing journey, or friends that are also supporting your healing journey, your dreams. And perhaps these friends are also helping you acknowledge difficult self-truths. Like sometimes we need that, right? We need a friend who's going to be honest with us, right? And say, why are you putting up with that? Or why do you continue to do that, right? At least I appreciate it in my friendship with Brie. I very much appreciate it. All right, one more. We have intuition. So trying to trust your intuition, trust your inner knowing, your gut instincts, right? We always say that your gut instinct is like a flash, and then you start to overthink it. So part of this could also be you getting out of your mind and into your intuition and following your intuition, right? Strong intuition here. So making decisions, really letting your intuition be your guide rather than your overthinking mind, I'm hearing. We have caution. Yes. So you are learning how to listen to your body. You're learning that when your body starts reacting or palpitating heart, remember I was getting that palpitating heart? You're learning to trust your intuition when it comes to red flags and caution and things like that. Beautiful. That's very beautiful. All right. And you know, when we're in, I almost said volatile. When we are in situations that are very stressful, where there's a lot of arguments, where there's, you know, especially I'm looking at this card, it can be hard to hear our intuition. It's drowned out by our overthinking mind. All right. You know what I'm hearing with the celebrate card right after separation? You could actually be celebrating the fact that you're in separation. And I don't mean that in a heartless way. I mean in a way that you're grateful for it, or you're grateful for the fact that there was a tower moment. I have a lump in my throat right now. Being grateful for the lessons is what I'm hearing. Celebrating how much growth you've accomplished. Celebrating the lessons that you're learning and the growth that you're going through separation. All right. And maybe you were realizing that you were actually separated from your true self as well, right? Finding inner fulfillment. Realizing that your wish come true. All right, separation, let's confirm it. Separation. We've got communication on the bottom. Anxiety. Stress, worry, overthinking. And that's what I mean. When you were in whatever this is, you could have been full of anxiety, overthinking, stress, overwhelm. Anxiety screams, intuition whispers. So when your anxiety, when your head is screaming at you, how can you hear your intuition? You could be learning important lessons about communication, right? Not communicating from an anxious, overwhelmed place, right? Trusting your intuition, seeing the red flags within you, realizing, oh my gosh, my emotions are heightened, I'm highly triggered. This is not the time to be communicating my truth, right? And again, I'm going to get unspoken oracle because we'll see. We'll see what's going on here. We'll see. Because again, communication is on the bottom. So there could have been problems with communication between you and whoever this is, causing you a lot of stress, overthinking, right? I said it a few weeks ago. When I find myself drafting messages in my notes app and writing and deleting and going out of my way to make sure I'm not offending the other person, I'm taking the other person's feelings into account, I'm being very careful about my wording, not saying some of the things I do want to say, I know for me that is a red flag in me that something is out of alignment within that connection if I can't speak my authentic truth and be my authentic self, right? Maybe you were overthinking your own communication. Celebrate. No, I want to get one more for this. I want to get one more for that. Separation, anxiety. Okay, so soulmate is there, strong connection, friendship, whatever that is for you. I'm going to put it back in. And we have ego. Actions from a place of fear, exactly what I was saying. So within this dynamic, soulmate, friendship, whatever it was, you could have been communicating from a place of fear, taking actions from a place of fear. And what were we talking about? Learning how to trust your intuition, learning how to trust your inner compass. If you're taking action from a place of fear, you shouldn't be, right? Because everything in your body is telling you, don't reply to this message, or, I'm hearing clash of the ego. So you could have been dealing with someone who was also in distorted energy or wounded, clash of the egos, arguments. But you could have been communicating, taking actions from a place of fear because you were worried about this person's feelings, or you were worried about what they would think about you, or maybe you stayed in that connection longer than you should have, whatever type of connection it is, because you were acting from a place of lack, of needing someone in your life so that you weren't alone, right? All right. Even though it was making you sad, it's just the rest of your energy here doesn't look like you are currently feeling sad and anxious about the separation. It feels like that's how you were feeling while you were in that dynamic. And now that you're not in that dynamic, it's like a weight has been lifted, is what I'm hearing. All right, celebrate. And yes, I am hearing the song, Celebrate Good Times. Come on. Celebrate. Okay. Yeah, releasing negativity, releasing resentment, and we have twin flame here. So you could be releasing the label, but remember, I was mentioning a little while ago with that celebrating the separation. Remember I said that? And I don't mean, oh yeah, we're separated, I'm so happy. But celebrating the lessons and the growth that whatever this connection has taught you, right? And we have twin flame, mirroring self-soul connection, releasing negativity, finding forgiveness through self, not anything to do with this person, apologizing, right? Forgiveness is about us. It's about the weight that we release when we release resentment and anger. Forgiveness is for us. Forgiveness is a gift for us, is what I'm hearing. But yeah, we have this twin flame card. So you could have resonated with being on the journey. The label can keep you stuck though. But again, celebrating, it's rare, right? 1% of the population, 1% of the population. And a lot of people don't believe in it, and that's fine. We're not making this reading about this label. But you could be finding gratitude for the journey because it's bringing you back home to self. It's aligning you with your people. It's pushing you to go out, not pushing you. It's inspiring you to go after your dreams, right? Your purpose, your mission. And again, celebrating all the growth that you've accomplished. And remember, this journey is not about a romantic union. It's about the journey back to self. Period. It really is about the journey, not the destination, right? Looking at it from a different perspective. It's not about them. It's about what they're reflecting back to you to heal, right? New perspective on the journey. All right, on the bottom, downtime, self-care, relaxing, learning how to treat yourself, celebrating yourself, taking care of yourself. Beautiful. New perspectives. New perspectives, healthier mindset. New perspective, healthier mindset. Balance, working on balance, balancing your yin and yang energy. Look, balancing your sun, moon, balancing your yin and yang energy, balancing your feminine, masculine energy. New perspective. It's not about them, right? You could be very focused on finding balance within your energies. And we have caution. Interesting. And we have spying. So, I want to say that you're not spying anymore. And maybe you realize that it was putting you out of balance when you saw what was going on with this person, right? It's about you. And if it is a true mirroring connection, if you're truly on this journey, you don't need to know what's going on with them, because all that matters is what's going on with self. And if you're truly on this journey, they would be going through very similar things, right? We have be careful and spying. So you could be, I really hope you're not spying on them. I really hope you're not watching readings about them, because it's not about them, it's about you, right? I think that you're looking at spying on them very differently, right? You're seeing, be careful. You're seeing it as a red flag, right? That's good. And again, you could be the collective that is realizing, being focused on the label, being focused on them, spying on them, thinking about them, watching readings about them, all energetic chasing, keeping you stuck, right? Realizing that it brings you out of balance. It brings you out of your own balance. All right. Wishes. 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 Unexpected blessings. Mr. Crow is here, so you could be receiving unexpected blessings right now on the bottom. Unexpected. Let's see what it is. Spring, March, April, May. You could be seeing butterflies, right? Maybe it's funny because I felt like, to a normal person, like me being ridiculously excited about a feather doesn't make sense, right? But to me, it's magical. To me, it's magical that I've waited so long for blue jay feathers, not waited. And I found 2 in one day and it was just magical to me. So maybe you're receiving like signs and synchronicities that you're seeing as blessings. But this is also giving me spring is the energy of rebirth. And we have offer, unexpected offers, unexpected opportunities, unexpected new friendships, right? This is beautiful. And you could be planting pentacles when it comes to your dream, right? Maybe you started planting pentacles in spring. I have an itchy back. Maybe you started working towards your mission or your dream in the spring, or maybe you are thinking about, you're already planting pentacles now, and perhaps, this spring card is here to show you that by spring next year, things will look completely different. All right. Intuition. Your intuition. What is your intuition telling you? I saw it, so I'm going to take it. Fresh start. New beginning. Start over. Square one. Your intuition. And I'm seeing the 8 of Cups. We have clarity, clear thinking, meditate. Right? So learning how to really tap into that intuition, not take action from a place of fear or ego. You hear the crows? And we have this, which flipped out. I just saw the words, so I took it. Walk away, don't look back. And one of the meanings of the 8 of Cups is let your truth and instinct lead the way. So trusting your intuition, walking away from things that no longer serve you, right? Walking away from accepting less than you deserve, to focus on a new beginning for self. This is beautiful. And we have dreams. No longer afraid to walk away from things and start over is what I'm hearing. Powerful energy. Like this is powerful energy here. Very powerful. I like it. So I want to see, how do I want to word that? I'm feeling called to get the soul seekers now. So let's see how your soul is evolving. What are you evolving out of maybe? Or evolving from? Let's see. I also have the animal deck sitting right there. I was going to get you an animal card. Do I want to do that first? Yes, I do. Mr. Crow is out there for you. All right. Your current energy. My throat chakra is acting all kind of funny. Your energy. Your current energy. Oh my gosh, is this the same collective from 2 days ago? What's going on? We got the beaver. We've got the beaver. You could be going through a transformation here. We have the snake on the bottom. So could be going through a kundalini activation. Could be shedding skin here, shedding skin. But the beaver is loyal, hard worker. Once they put their mind to something and start a task, they work heavily and steadily for weeks, months, years until the task is finished. You could be very focused on family or home right now. When out of balance, feels useless, burnt out. When in balance, very selfless service. So I am hearing mission. You could be focused on your mission. I don't know why my back is so itchy. That's beautiful. Selfless service, being of service to the world, I'm hearing. Focusing on the people that you're loyal to, that are loyal, show that loyalty in return. Let's get you another one. Another one for this beautiful collective. Oh, we have the unicorn. Oh, the eagle. The eagles are coming. The eagle. Thrown into the fire for the sake of your own transformation. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. You could be learning very important karmic lessons right now, walking away from karmic situations. And we have the unicorn on the bottom, which is just magical. Like, it always gives me high priestess energy. No longer, listen, this is a very important message because I'm hearing it clearly. Whoever you are, right, you're embracing, I am open to receive and give love. That's your affirmation. But you are embracing whatever journey you're on, right? F the label I'm hearing. You're embracing the lessons from this. You are, the unicorn talks about, we question divinity. We question if it's real, right? And it always gives me high priestess energy, tapping into your divinity, your magic, your intuition, your inner knowing, right? Going through all these transformations, trusting that it's all divine, right? That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Embracing the fire, right? The unicorn, I love the unicorn so much. Now I hear a seagull. Reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity, you. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. Did they ever exist? Perhaps long, long ago? The mind answers maybe, or it could be, or no way. This very contemplation explains our relationship with divinity. So you could have been someone who's been on the journey, focused on the label, focused on the other person, continuing to question, am I delusional? Am I imagining this? Is any of this real? Am I just crazy? Is it a karmic? Is it this? Is it that? Right? But it feels like right now you're just phoenixing that eagle, embracing the fire, embracing the lessons, reconnecting to your higher wisdom, your divinity, embracing your divine being. Beautiful. We wonder what divinity is. We wonder where our intuition comes from and if we can really trust it. You can trust your intuition way more than you can trust your overthinking mind. We think about a higher power and our mind hesitates between yes, no, and maybe. Is it male or female? Does it have a name? Is it just a feeling? The unicorn card appears and wakes us up to curiosity about higher self and the divine. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating the inexplicable. The mind's eye knows there is something beyond our day-to-day lives, a deeper dimension to our experiences. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches your unicorn horn out for something more. You are the unicorn and you have begun your quest for answers. Beautiful. Unicorns unite. I love the unicorn. And Mr. Crow does too. All-pervading power, truth seeker, the eagle. Truth, your intuition is the truth. Transforms karma. When in balance, bright, radiant, embraces challenges. When out of balance, tries to control the situation. To bring into balance, step into the unknown, right? And I always talk about this. At some point, you just have to embrace the journey, right? People will ask, How will I know if I'm on this journey? Again, we're not using labels, but I have to mention the journey because it's coming out in this reading. Only you know the answer. All right. I want to get a card for what you might be struggling with. I want to get a card for what you might be struggling with right now. Possible shadow, right? What are you struggling with right now? What might... Oh, it came out in reverse and everything. Oh, perfect. Okay, so we do have the spider. So the spider is about being focused on the process rather than the results. I say no clearly and firmly. That's your affirmation. Remember that. Maybe you're learning to say no. Maybe there's something coming where you need to say no. But we have the spider, which again, it talks about being focused on the process rather than the results, right? So you could have been struggling by focusing on the result. There's a reason I'm saying all the things I'm saying. So you could have been very focused on the end stop, right? The destination, not the journey. But now you're celebrating the journey because it's bringing you back to self, right? Anyway, for some reason I was seeing the whale when I was asking what was blocking you, and it came out in reverse. So Spirit's confirming it. So you could have struggled with communication. Maybe you're struggling with... This is a card about feminine forces. So perhaps you are someone who struggles with communicating your vulnerabilities. You could be someone who struggles with... This is the other end of the spectrum, but you could be someone who struggles when you express yourself to express yourself with compassion. Because maybe you were acting from a place of ego. It could have... I'm seeing the Knight of Swords. So maybe for some of you, because you didn't know how to say no, or you endured a lot, perhaps your communication from a place of fear could have been quite explosive. But this is also about feeling heavy and slipping into the old story. And I was just talking about how you could be a collective that oftentimes you were going back and forth. Like, what am I on this journey? Am I not on it? Is it like the labels, right? Is it this? Is it that? Am I imagining things? I always say at some point you just have to trust the journey that you're on and embrace it. Step into the unknown like the eagle, right? This also talks about, I think I already said this, slipping into the old story. So at times you could slip back into like an old, like negative narrative pattern I'm hearing, or slipping back into, I'll always be alone, or people always hurt me, or whatever. Interesting. I just looked at the tarantula. Over intellectualizes. You could struggle with over intellectualizing, overthinking. The whale. I'm going to look at the spider actually, because I already explained the whale to you. Oh, why am I in water? Never mind, I'm going for the whale. I'm going to read you the whale. Desire to delve deeper, profound peace, ancient wisdom. So you could even question your own inner wisdom, your own intuition. When in balance, calm, steady, deeply compassionate. When out of balance, heavy, slips in old story. To bring back into balance, regular self-care, which you are focused on self-care right now. The whale represents profound emotional health and stability. Whale personalities are not afraid of emotional expression. Blocked throat chakra. So you could be struggling with that because this is a potential blockage here, and it did come out in the reverse. Or traversing difficult terrain as they have overcome many challenges in their lives. These experiences have enriched them, given them stability, strength, and a depth that is rare. Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine forces of compassion and communication. We can depend on whale personalities when all else seems lost and trust them to be a beacon in our darkest hour. Oh my gosh, it's making me think of I watched a documentary last night about orcas called Blackfish, and it was so sad. It was so sad. I cried a lot during it. It was really sad. And it was about how I don't know if I really want to get into it right now. I might start crying, but it's just an example of how a creature that is made to be put in a little box and mistreated and how damaging it can be. So maybe you are someone who is used to being mistreated, or you stayed in situations that were not good for you, and perhaps it came out aggressively, right? That's what I was hearing. Oh, right. I was going to look at the spider. I just want to see the potential blockage of the spider. Earth. Where are you? There you are. Discouraged, tired. So there could be days where it comes over you where you are tired and you feel heavy. And that's completely normal on the healing journey. It's completely normal to have days where you feel tired and heavy, and especially if you are, I'm hearing it, like a cycle breaker. Some of us that chose on our soul contract to break karmic family cycles, there are days where you feel like, why me, right? Victim mentality. So if you are feeling heavy or tired, be sure to prioritize rest. Be sure to give yourself that rest. All right. I want to see an animal, a spirit animal that might help you, that you can connect with to help you. Spirit animal to give you help and guidance. What is your advice for this collective? We have the dragonfly, new perspectives. We have the black egg. All right. Shift in perspective, which you already have in your middle row. And we have the black egg, which is the truth. Speaking your truth. The dragonfly, very blue. I feel like there's something here about communication in the throat chakra. All right. So these are the ones that will help you on your journey. Maybe you're seeing dragonflies. Master of Light, Illusion, and the Mind. When in balance, sees clearly, joyful, magical. So start seeing the magical things that are happening to you, even if it's just finding a feather. It's magic. The more magic you notice, the more magic you'll notice, right? The more gratitude you show for the magic that's all around you, the more magic you'll see. When out of balance, can't concentrate in a busy mind. So if you can't concentrate and you have this busy mind, go out and look around you at all the magic I'm hearing. To bring into balance, focus on breath. It's so funny, right before I filmed this, well, it was like an hour before I filmed it, I came across this person on social media that was like, can you hold air in the top of your lip? And then can you hold air like down here? And then can you take when you're holding that air down here? I don't want to do it because you look like a monkey when you're doing it. And then he was like, can you hold air in your left cheek? And breathe, and then do it in the right cheek. Breathe in, breathe out through your nose, and then hold as much air in your mouth as you can. And then make a little hole like a straw and breathe it slowly out. Anyway, I'm bringing it up because the power of breath is amazing. And when I was a kid, when I was having panic attacks or when I was overstimulated or I was upset and crying, you know, I was just told, stop crying, stop doing that, right? Which breaks my heart when I see it happen to other people. With my kids, I always say, let's breathe. Let's breathe. Breathe in. Take a deep breath in. Hold. Release it very slowly. Then repeat, right? And it works. It's like magic. It works like magic, especially for my neurodivergent kids. It works magic for me. So don't underestimate the power of breath work and breathing exercises, okay? Oh, I should have kept the book open. I just get so excited. The dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder in all. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind, as it is always moving, shifting, shimmering, and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they restless or still, dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so the light of wisdom can shine through your intuition. Magical. Where am I? Black egg. Black egg. Where are you? There you are, speaking from an authentic voice. The truth. The truth. You can't handle the truth. Yes, you can. The black egg contains one of life's essential treasures, the truth. I love the black egg. Inside of it resides no confusion, excuses, small talk, noise, or lies, not even white ones. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. Sounds draw us in, books draw us in. The concept of truth itself draws us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself? This is your advice. So what do you know to be true about yourself? Right? Because we can get caught up in our perception of what we think other people think about us, or what we think that person thinks about us, or whatever. What is true about the world? When the energy of the black egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear, gossip, or repeat stories to justify our subpar behavior. We might even try and convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. Listen, you have a big inner truth, and it's this right here. You are magic. The energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. It is available at every moment in every situation. It is the epicenter of truth, the birthplace of our voice. Authentic truth. So, I don't know where you are on your authentic speaking journey, but I'll be interested to see if the test comes out or something like that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. So, whoops, I just pulled my hair out a little. I don't know why, but I'm seeing a card from this deck. What is it? It's probably the Dragonfly? Better than you can imagine, the Dragonfly. I'm feeling called to read it to you. I know that it talks about the life cycle of a dragonfly. Oh, before a dragonfly, magic. Before a dragonfly becomes her most authentic self, she spends about 4 years underwater as a creepy little nymph creature. The dragonfly nymph has no comprehension of her greatness. Unicorn! How could a creature that lives underwater even remotely fathom that there existed an atmosphere she had no perception of, which she would not only live in but fly in as well? Dragonfly brings a sacred message about your belief in your future self. She says your perception of reality is quite limited and your image of your future self is incredibly narrow, but that's okay. Just be aware of this. If you have a dream, Dragonfly is telling you all you have to do to work on it, and life will do the rest for you. Don't try and figure out what it's supposed to look like with your limited perceptions. Don't look at setbacks as the end of the world. They were meant to happen to propel you and stretch you. Just keep working on your dream, and life will create something so much bigger than you have the ability to currently understand. Dragonfly medicine teaches you to first surrender your need for something to be like the limited view in your head. Second, have absolute trust that life will deliver something greater. Third, be patient. Last, get excited. Oh my gosh, I just got full body goosebumps. Get excited that something bigger than your dreams is destined for you. I have full body goosebumps. If you got goosebumps when I said that, confirmation. I feel like I'm going to have to get one of these at the end for advice. So I'm going to stick it somewhere in my eye line. I'll put it right here. I'll put it right here. There. It's right there. Let's be honest. I'm still going to miss that it's right there. I have this thing where yesterday I left my house with 2 pairs of sunglasses and I was still asking where my sunglasses were. I had noise canceling headphones on. I had a pair on my head, a pair in my hand, and I was like, where are my sunglasses? Oh dear. All right. What your soul is transforming. Well, we'll just leave it up to spirit. I don't want to put it in a little box. Messages from the soul seeker. We'll see what comes out. You're based on your current energy. So let's have a look. I'm hearing evolution of the soul. You could have beautiful hazel eyes. Hazel, bright eyes, green, brown tones. You could have beautiful eyes. Ooh, we have rejection. Unwanted, left out in the cold, lonely. Could have been rejected by someone with hazel eyes, but I think for whoever you are at the time of separation, I'm just thinking about the layout, where the cards fell. Your first row is separation. So at the beginning of this separation, right, it could have really triggered an abandonment wound within you. A rejection wound within you, feeling left out in the cold. Someone could have rejected you or went silent on you. Could have also been after some sort of communication, right? Either you could have been communicating from a place of fear. I'm just remembering that first row. So your soul is seeking for you to heal that rejection wound, right? And I always say, as long as you have yourself, you will never be abandoned. You will never be alone because you don't abandon yourself. If you are attracting in people and situations that are rejecting you, rejection is protection. It means you're not aligned with it, right? But somewhere along the way, you could have been sharing, when you shared your authentic self, you could have been rejected many times along the way, causing you to have this fear of rejection, is what I'm hearing. Let's get one more for that. Rejection. Positive outcome. We have holding back. So this is what I mean about you could have been holding back on communication, remember I felt a lump in my throat. So you could have had a hard time communicating vulnerably because of fear of rejection. I'm hearing lack of boundaries, blocked throat chakra, rejection wound. So you could have held on to situations far longer than you should have, hoping for a positive outcome. Right? Same row. So you could have been hoping for a positive outcome with this person, focused on the end stop, not the journey. You could have been waiting for this person, waiting around for them to change, waiting around for a positive outcome with them, waiting for them to come back, whatever it is. You know, wanting them to choose you because they triggered this deep rejection wound within you. But now you're choosing self, right? Remember the song I was hearing? It makes sense now. I had to lose you to love me. Walk into it blindly. Anyway, that song is important. So again, you could have waited in this connection, or even just past situations, hoping for positive outcome if you just shrunk yourself, right? Like if I don't speak my truth, if I just shrink myself, if I don't do too much, then they won't abandon me, they won't reject me. Now, I know you're working through this, but I just want to quickly read the rejection wound. And if you are neurodivergent, people who are ADHD have sensitivity to perceived rejection. So even if it's not actually rejection, like as simple as, you know, asking a friend to go do something and they're like, oh, I actually have something else going on that day. I'm hanging out with this person, but we can make plans for next week. Rejection, right? Even though they're not rejecting you. Anyway, I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but I just want to read the paragraph about turning that energy around. Healing this wound begins when you stop seeing rejection as proof of your unworthiness and start seeing it as divine course correction. Rejection is protection, right? Every no clears the way for a greater yes. You are not being abandoned. You are being led somewhere better. When you stop chasing acceptance and start trusting that what is for you will never require you to shrink, you free yourself from the fear of rejection. You are already whole, already worthy, already enough. The world isn't rejecting you. It is making space for what truly aligns with your soul. I can hear somebody's ego fighting it. I can hear you. Tell your ego to shut up. That's what I do. What else did I want to look at? Blocked throat chakra, lack of boundaries. I'm just going to read the paragraph about healing it. Healing the lack of boundary wound. First of all, my favorite thing to say to you, you teach other people how to treat you by what you allow, what you stop, and what you reinforce. Truth. Healing this wound requires reclaiming your right to protect your energy, your time, and your emotional space. Boundaries are not selfish. They are acts of self-respect, the invisible lines that tell the world, I am worthy of care, of consideration, of being heard. The moment you start enforcing your limits without guilt, you stop teaching others that you are willing to be walked over. True connection does not require you to abandon yourself. It requires you to stand firmly in who you are, knowing that real love will never ask you to break yourself to be worthy of it. True. And then just the blocked throat chakra. Healing the throat chakra blockage requires reclaiming the power of your voice. Your truth does not need to be softened for the comfort of others, but you can't, you also have to show compassion, right? We can't be ruthless and mean, right? And name call and things like that. It is about honoring, speaking up. No, where was I? There we go. Your words deserve space, not suffocation. Speaking up is not just about being heard. It is about honoring yourself, knowing that your thoughts, needs, and emotions are valid. Sing, write, express. Let your voice take up space without apology. The more you speak your truth, the lighter you become. It's true. It's true. And think about the black egg, right? I see the black egg as the goo before you become the butterfly. Remember the butterfly card, right? So every time you speak your truth, you're making your wings stronger, is what I'm hearing. Let your voice take up space without apology. Can we all stop apologizing? I tell my friends, I've got a double whammy. I've got an over-apologizing wound from just trauma. And then I'm Canadian, and Canadians over-apologize anyway. But a lot of people don't realize it when they're over-apologizing, and anybody who's been here from the beginning of my channel knows I used to say I'm sorry like 30 times every reading. People would be like, it's really annoying how you're doing that. Or they would say it more nicely, like, it's sad that you're apologizing for existing. Just speak your truth. You don't have to apologize. And that's what I say when people around me over-apologize. I say, what are you sorry for? Stop apologizing for existing. Because the things that are left unsaid do not disappear. So the things that we want to say, that we're afraid to say, that we suppress, it's not like those go away. And remember when I was talking about how when you keep suppressing it, what can happen is we can hit our breaking point and then explode all over someone, not in a healthy way. They stay trapped within, waiting for the moment you finally set them free. Speak your truth, my little unicorn. In all areas. And again, recently I found myself drafting an email, worrying about everything I was saying, deleting it, rewriting it, afraid to put up a boundary, afraid to speak my truth. And I was like, wait a minute, this is all I need to know. This situation is not aligned with me because it's taking me back to a place where I'm drafting messages and like, no. People who are aligned with you, situations that are aligned with you, you should be able to speak vulnerably and freely without fear of them rejecting you or them taking it the wrong way or anything like that. The right people, friendship, will even love, family, will hear you and support you, right? All right, let's keep going. You probably don't even, anyway. Listen, if you are attracted to funny people, it's because you're funny and you probably don't even think you're funny, is what I'm hearing. And you know what? I find the funniest people are the people who are their authentic selves and don't care if they sound like a weirdo or... They are the funniest people to me. Authentic people. You are funny. You're fun to be around. You're a good time. Not that way. You are fun to be around when you're being your authentic self. So if you are drawn to people who you see as fun, people who you feel like they're fun to be around, it's because they're reflecting back to you that that is within you. You're a funny human being. You make people laugh when you're your authentic self, when you're not worrying about sounding this way or that way. And you know what? I used to text all the time. This is something that I'm going through right now. Well, not really, but I used to text all the time because I could filter myself. And then when I started sending voice notes, texting is so dry and like... Speaking authentically, like maybe you struggle with sending voice notes. Start sending the voice notes. It took me, I'm 42 and I just started sending voice notes to my friends like 4 to 5 weeks ago. And it's just changed my relationship with people as well because you can be your authentic self. Do you guys ever see like funny reels about that? There are moments where I'm laughing in a voice note in response to something that Bree says, and then it doesn't record or it doesn't send. So then I have to like, re-record voice note. Like, I have to reenact the moment. Or I'll just say it deleted my things, so I'll just reenact it. But your sense of humor, your authentic expression makes you magnetic, and it will draw in the right. Authenticity is such a high vibration, right? It's like such a high frequency, and it triggers the out of people. It triggers them. And I always say, if you are triggered by somebody's authenticity, it's just because somewhere deep down inside of you, you want to be your authentic self. You don't want to be like a little minion. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm all giggly all of a sudden. You're funny. Maybe you're thinking about being a comedian. Do it, do it. Express. Your soul wants you to say how you feel and speak up. And I bet you in this past experience, whatever that row was, you felt like you had to shrink yourself. And again, when you feel like you have to draft messages and shrink yourself and hide your feelings and suppress them, that is not something that's energetically aligned with you. And it's blocking you from the things that are meant to align with you. Again, authenticity, you speaking your truth, is magnetic. And I feel like that's what you're learning to do. But you could still be struggling it with blah, 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 blah. You could still be struggling with it because we had the black egg as advice for you. So you could still be struggling with some of this stuff. Even just, do you know what I'm hearing? I've never heard this before. In that black egg, it talks about you no longer justify subpar behavior, right? Even that is not authentic when we're like making excuses for how we hurt someone. Anyway. There's a lot of energy here about you are fun to be around, right? People love your truth. You are wise. You are that unicorn. And your soul is wanting to attract in the right situations and people, mission as well. Beautiful. I'm just taking all that as one row. All right, and maybe that's something that goes back in your family. We were talking about breaking cycles. So maybe you come from a long line of people who were afraid to speak their truth, or just very vulnerably speaking. In my family, the dynamic is I have one parent that would suppress, explode. And then I had another parent who would suppress, shrink. Where are you going? Disappearing. So maybe this is deeply ingrained in you, right? Or maybe you have to be authentic with your family, siblings, parents. Maybe you struggle to be authentic in front of those people. That's hard. That's tough because they're your blood, right? Maybe you're thinking about having a hard conversation with family. Just know, rejection is divine redirection. Remember that. All right. And if you are the black sheep, I've mentioned black sheep cycle breaker a few times. You may just be prepared. Usually from what I see, the black sheep becomes the scapegoat, right? It becomes I shouldn't joke about it, but I often will say the line about myself, we don't talk about Bruno, no. Because Bruno in that movie, I believe, saw through the grandmother. He saw through the dynamic in the family. So then he became the black sheep and nobody would ever talk about Bruno, right? I also heard a really interesting thing that you also have to think about it like this, especially if you, like, I'm just thinking about my own situation, right? But I once heard this description about the sheep who escapes, right? It's like there's like a parental figure that's the wolf, right? And you're the sheep that escapes. But just because you escaped the black sheep doesn't mean the other people in your family feel safe to do the same, because maybe they're highly afraid of the wolf, or highly controlled by the wolf, or programmed by the wolf, right? I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult. It weighs heavily on me in my own situation. All right. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. But you know, I also, by healing it within me, I've healed it within future generations. Like my kids, they will say whatever's on their mind, to the point where sometimes it can be, it's never embarrassing, but like my kids are, because I've been healing this within me, right? My kids are their authentic selves. Plus they're homeschooled, so they're like untouched by the system, which is beautiful. But it does impact future generations to come. So remember that when you do feel alone. We have past connection, history, person from the past, unfinished business. So whoever this person was could have been a lesson to trigger all this within you to heal this, right? In your family's lineage is what I'm hearing. Unfinished business. We'll have to look at what that's about. Chaser. So listen, do you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing you chased and you chased and you chased and you chased until you learn the lesson. Obstacles. I'm taking these. Spirit's telling me to take them. So we have chase and obstacle, right? So you were probably someone who is, if you were doing all of those things, suppressing your voice, right? Putting up with less than you deserved, watching them on social media, watching ratings about them, being focused on the label, being focused on the end stop, right? You were chasing. And that label is not to put you down. We're talking about energetically chasing, right? I don't see you as the chaser. You're such a chaser. But energetically chasing. And a lot of people will say, before this connection, I wasn't chasing anything. But if you think back, you probably were in different ways, right? I was always someone who chased friendship, chased approval, chased validation, chased happiness in the form of alcohol, things like that. So whoever this was, right, you kept chasing. Obstacles kept being put in your path. Again, this has to do with someone, a specific person, whoever that is to you. Obstacles kept being put in your path until you burned that out of you, right? You were thrown into the chasing fire for the sake of your own transformation, so that you learn never to chase anything again, right? Maybe that's why this person kept orbiting around you, or you kept orbiting around them, chasing them. And you know, that energy will still bubble up sometimes. And I don't mean like actually chasing them, but you were trying to control the situation, and spirit kept like past person, spirit kept putting obstacle after obstacle after obstacle in your way. And you were probably of the mindset, why isn't this working? And why does this always happen? And whatever your narrative was, right? But spirit was trying to get you to burn that right out of you so that you never chase anything again. And chasing stems from a codependent wound. And it leads to chasing validation, chasing approval, chasing companionship, right? It comes from a codependent wound. Again, I'm not going to read you the whole thing. I want to get right to how do you work on it. You do not have to set yourself on fire to keep others warm. Healing from codependency does not mean you stop caring. It means you learn to care without losing yourself. It means recognizing that love is not something you have to earn by overextending, that you are not responsible for saving others at the expense of your well-being. Love is not meant to deplete you. It is meant to nourish both giver and receiver. So if it's depleting you, it's not aligned with you. Where was I? The moment you choose yourself, the moment you stop begging for the bare minimum, the moment you realize you are worthy of love that does not require suffering, you step into freedom, and in that freedom, real love finally has a place to exist. It's also giving attachment wound, so I'm just going to read how to heal that really quickly. Or is it abandonment? I might have to read both. Hang on. I just want to get you all the information necessary. I heard something really, like, something that just blew my mind the other day. Over-explaining is the same as begging. And when I heard that, it shifted something inside of me. It was like, oh my gosh, that is totally true. When you are over-explaining for someone to understand you or see your perspective or to spend time with you or love you or whatever, it is a form of begging. And when I heard that, it like shifted something inside of me. So again, when I feel the need to over-explain, it's like a little red flag for me. Something is off. Something is off. Attachment. Healing an attachment wound is not about never needing anyone. It is about learning to love from a place of wholeness rather than emptiness. So you need to learn to love yourself first. It is about trusting that connection does not require possession and that intimacy does not require self-abandonment. You are not unworthy of love, nor are you destined to chase or flee from it. You are meant to give and receive love freely, without fear, without attachment, without conditions. And when you learn that love is not something to lose, but something to be, you will no longer hold it with grasping hands. You will carry it with you, unshakable and infinite. All of a sudden, I'm hearing the poem, I carry your heart. I carry your heart in my heart. Don't know why. And then separation on the bottom. So this separation needed to happen, but that's what I mean. You're already seeing the good in it, right? Ooh! One more, if you want. Goodbye. We have ghosted and divine feminine. Divine feminine energy and ghosted. Dropped off, no closure, gone silent. Maybe in the past you were maybe you were someone who would drop off of situations, just bail, right? If you couldn't handle it, this person could have ghosted you. We have divine feminine, right? With ghosted. So perhaps since you were ghosted by this person, you've been focusing on your feminine energy. Maybe you were vulnerable and spoke your truth and then they went poof and disappeared. Right? I always say this, but whenever I speak my truth and put up a boundary and somebody goes poof and they disappear, right? They drop off, they go silent. It's just confirmation that I did the right thing. And maybe by chasing after this person, you were ghosting and running from your own feminine energy is what I'm hearing. One more. We have return, come back, reconnect, reach out. I'm hearing it, so I'm going to say it. Perhaps for some of you, you were embracing this journey simply to get this person to come back. And and maybe they came back and ghosted you again, and you were like, oh, I'm not on the journey. They're just this, they're just that. Blame, right? Anger, resentment. Right? If you were just trying to embody divine feminine energy to get them back, that's not the right reason. You won't get to divine energy like that, right? There's a little birdie sitting right outside my window. And now, again, this person clearly disappeared, went poof. Almost like it was divinely guided, right? Or spirit intervened and said, that's enough of that, right? So that you could reconnect with your divine feminine energy, so that you could reconnect with self. So that you could return to self. Divine feminine return. That little birdie agrees. One more row. One more row. One more row. Raising your vibration. That little ghosty was holding you down. So I've seen green eyes, blue eyes, hazel eyes, brown eyes. I've seen them all. Moving on, forward movement, healing, taking the next step. I just knocked over my phoenix. Phoenixing. Beautiful. So we have green eyes, jade. Jade could be symbolic, or the name Jade. And forward movement, healing, next step, your soul. Right? Your soul wants you to continue moving forward. You already know this. So we have raising your vibration, energetic shift. You're going through an energetic shift. You're going through an energetic upgrade. Beautiful. Raise your vibration, energy shift. As I said that, my little watch went buzz, buzz. It vibrated. And we have fate, meant to be, trust. You're being divinely guided right now. Trust in this. Your soul doesn't want you to be chasing after something, right? Your soul wants you to express your true self, to be your authentic self, to return to yourself, to raise your vibration. Authenticity is the highest form of vibration. And this has been a reoccurring theme these past few weeks, authentic expression. Your soul wants you to trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by. No matter what your ego monster is telling you. Give your ego monster a name so that you can tell it to shut up. I'm not even kidding. I don't know why. I do not know why I'm hearing Glenda. I apologize if your name is Glenda. But that's what I always hear when my ego monster is going on. I'm like, shut up, Glenda. Anyway, beautiful. Let's see what Spirit wants you to focus on right now. Let's see that. What does Spirit want you to focus on right now? What does Spirit want you to focus on right now? We do have, yes, the time has come. So what are you thinking about doing with your voice, right? Planting a pentacle, remember? Culmination of effort, completion, abundance. Oh, I'm supposed to get a different deck first. Fruits of your labor, release, focus on your needs, harvest, moving on. The time has come. So if you're watching this and you're still struggling to take that step forward or to move on, Spirit says the time is now. Let that ghosty float off. I want to get unspoken oracle advice from Spirit. Spirit, I want to look at this person's, what they're currently going through and what is to come. What is to come. Current and what is to come. Current energy and what is coming. Nothing. Nothing is coming. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Now I'm hearing the song Your Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes When You're Fast Asleep. Is that from Cinderella? I think it's from Cinderella. I'm seeing little birdies dancing. It's Cinderella, isn't it? Current energy. Current energy. Current energy. Current energy that didn't come out. You know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing the scene where she is like humming and she's in her own little world and she's like humming to herself and her stepmother's eyes are green and she's like staring at her like this. I don't know why I just saw that. Do you have people looking at you like that? Dream job alignment. Beautiful. It's so dark here. It's the afternoon, but it's so dark here. Glow up. Are people watching you? Remember I just said I saw that? We have glow up revenge, but it's not revenge. Please, that's gross. You don't need to get revenge. Anyway. I am calling on the highest vibrations to escort me into the next phase. Yes. We have watching from afar, people looking at you, regretting lost access. I just saw the mother from the stepmother, like green on, like, how dare you be happy and smiling. Anyway, dream job alignment. So you could definitely be focused on your pentacle world right now, or your path, your mission. And remember, the more authentic you are, the more you express yourself, the more you have the confidence to take a step forward, right? It'll align you. Dream job alignment. Purpose meets opportunity. Authentic expression. Authentic. Right place, right time. It's no wonder Spirit put those walls in front of you. How are you going to align? Like, how could you align with this if you were still chasing, right? Your fulfillment is calling. So I don't know if you're working on this currently, or this is something, a seed within you that's slowly growing, whispering at you. But purpose meets opportunity by being your authentic self. You're magnetizing in dream job alignment. And again, you could have people envious of your glow right now, or envious of your peace. Who cares? They can get their own. They can get their own peace. It's within them. Anyway, I'm in a weird mood. Let's keep going. Current energy. Your fulfillment is calling right now. Pick up that phone. Hello. Current. No contact. Peace. See? Your current energy, you're not stressing about no contact or separation. We have inner child healing, reconnecting with joy, soothing old wounds, playful rediscovery, learning how to be soft again. Beautiful. We have no contact. Silence speaks loudly. Energy withdrawal, distance for clarity, detaching to heal. And this lady looks so at peace, right? She's smelling her coffee or tea or whatever it is, hot water. I had an aunt that used to drink hot water and I used to tease her. I feel bad. Are you having your cup of hot water? Not even like that phone is flipped over. That phone is flipped over. Not even looking at the notifications. Face mask on, focusing on herself. There's plants there. I'm even seeing that little candle. There's a little candle and a big candle, right? And I'm seeing that glow up card in the pink deck. So you focused on your own energy. So you could be in no contact with family or this person or even some of your friends, I'm hearing. Heart versus head, logic versus emotion, overthinking love. I don't think you're doing that anymore. Choosing clarity, you're choosing peace, you're choosing silence, right? Healing, remember we talked about your mind Shut up, Glenda, remember? And I think that even this logic versus emotion, it's good to look at things logically sometimes when we're too emotionally invested, right? But I think this is what you're healing, like cognitive dissonance, confusion between the head and the heart. Choosing clarity, choosing your peace, choosing silence over explaining. Again, the moment that I found myself drafting messages, I should have just chosen silence. All right. Let's get one more for this. One more for this one. And yeah, maybe you are struggling with your head when it comes to your dream job alignment or speaking your voice, expressing your truth. Again, maybe you have conflicted feelings, you're overthinking your authentic expression. All right. One more. You want to come out, so I'll take you. We have mixed messages underneath no contact and the test. So whoever you are, you've already had a test. Whether it was with this person or somebody else, doesn't matter. The spirit tests us in different ways with different people, different meat suits, different situations. Confusing communication. This is what you're choosing silence over. You're choosing peace. You're detaching to heal over confusing communication. Inconsistent tone, words not matching actions, unclear intentions. And you could have been attracted to this because maybe as a child things were very inconsistent in your home, or your parents' actions didn't match their words, right? The test, temptation returns, familiar lessons repeat, patterns resurfacing, spirit testing growth. But you're choosing silence, whatever this is. And it doesn't just have to be about that person that you're in separation with, whoever that is. This could be coming up with friends and family. Remember that card? This could be coming up with situations at work. This could be coming up with people you hire, someone you're buying something from. Spirit is testing your growth, and you are choosing silence. Maybe you're overthinking it a little, right? Because when we're tested and we choose silence and we choose not to over-explain and beg, it can be conflicting to choose silence, because maybe you're someone who doesn't believe in just ghosting and disappearing and saying nothing, right? Maybe that's against everything that you've ever done. But you are being tested with mixed messages. You're passing the test, or hopefully this will help you pass the test. All right. I want to see what advice Spirit has for you about what's coming. What advice does Spirit have for you about what's coming? Oh, we have untold feelings. Holding back emotions, afraid to speak your truth. Remember when I asked for advice? And Spirit gave us the black egg and the dragonfly. Hiding vulnerability, heart full of unspoken words. What is this for you? This is a tough one for you to let go, hard to let go, toxic comfort. Where in your life are you struggling to speak your authentic voice and speak your feelings? Because in what's coming, You have a chance. You have a chance of a new beginning here. But it's going to require you releasing toxic comfort, releasing, like maybe you meet someone new and you're afraid to speak your truth and be. Maybe you start a new job and you're afraid to speak up about your opinions, right? This is in what's coming. There's something that feels very familiar, again, whether it's through work, family, love, a repeating cycle that's meant to teach you self-worth. And you have a chance for a new beginning here. So what I'm hearing, I'm going to have to get some cards to confirm. There's a difference between like someone that you have a familiar, like repeating cycles, someone that's been hard to let go. Or let's just say, I don't know why my mom popped into my head. So let's just say my mom pops into my energy and all of a sudden I'm feeling like, oh, I can't express my vulnerable truth because whenever I do, it causes an argument. Right? I'm gonna speak my truth. Let it out of me. And again, there's a difference between knowing that you're not safe to speak your truth with someone because you know them, you know a dynamic with them, you know the cycle, you know that it's unsafe for you, right? There's a difference between holding back in a situation like that and then having a new opportunity, and because of past wounding, you start to shrink, right? I'm hearing the example of like a new friendship. Right? I'm afraid this is brand new. I've been working on speaking my authentic truth, passing tests, then I meet someone new, and all of a sudden I feel afraid to be vulnerable. I'm having a really bad day and I'm afraid to tell them that I'm having a bad day because I'm afraid of being too much, and I'm afraid if I'm vulnerable, they're going to think I'm depressing and they're not going to like me. And, you know, there's a difference between an old wound being triggered because it's still within you. And there's a difference between, I hope I'm making sense. There's a difference between that and having someone that you know you're not safe to speak your truth with. You know what the pattern that's gonna repeat. I'm gonna get a card about this. Because we have new beginnings, fresh start. Can I just see what that's about? Silent treatment. This is what I mean. This part's going to be confusing. I'm going to try and make it make sense because I'm hearing two different things. Yes, I hear you, Birdie. Do you hear him? Chirp. 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 He's trying to tell me what to say. The nightingale, authentic expression, lump in your throat. Anyway, future energy. Hang on. I just need a minute. I just need a minute to sit with the energy. All right. I had to pull a card. There is another test coming for you. I know. You're being tested right now, but you're about to be tested again in your future. But it's leading to a new beginning. And let me just explain it. I had to confirm it, right? Could be family, could be work related, could be family related. I think it's work or family related, right? Someone who, when you speak up about how you feel, they go silent treatment, or they trigger that silence within you. It's someone that you know. Again, I'm hearing family or work related. And I pulled the Queen of Swords. This is coming, okay? And the Nine of Wands. You've come far, don't give up now. So you could be tempted to fall back into old ways with this person. Resilience is built through every test. I know, another test. Strength is earned, not given. One more push, you're almost there. You're almost at a new beginning, right? You're almost there. But there is a test here. And again, it could have to do with family, I'm hearing. Remember that family card? Rest, reflect, recharge. The final stretch requires everything. You've survived everything. Finish strong. Nine of Wands. And then we have the Queen of Swords. I know what this is. That's what it says. Emotions don't cloud my judgment. Not every battle is yours to fight. Listen closely. Trust no one easily. You see what others miss. Clarity is your power. Boundaries are wisdom. Speak truth even when it cuts. Oh my gosh. Okay. So what's happening here? Okay. I know that I'm getting like really into this. Right now you're being tested and choosing silence, right? And silence, there's so many weird synchronicities that there's so many weird things I've been talking about that are now being confirmed. So remember when I said I found myself overthinking what to say to someone and I should have just chose silence? I didn't choose silence. I actually spoke my truth in a very healthy way, in a very grounded way. It took me a while to write it because I was overthinking. Again, once I sent it, silence back, okay? So what I'm seeing right now is that right now you are being tested and choosing silence. But you have something else here that's coming that's gonna require you to speak authentically. And what I mean by that is it's not as simple as I'm just gonna let this go and choose silence. I'm just gonna not say what I feel because I know that I'm not safe to say what I feel or whatever. You're going to want to choose silence and you're gonna feel like I'm gonna choose silent strength. But this, whatever this is, I'm going to confirm what this is actually. Again, business, family, specifically. Maybe even this person you're in no contact with because we've got the Queen of Swords, but whatever. This one is about more than choosing silence. This one is authentic expression. I'm seeing the boundaries up card. Graceful but guarded. And it's going to require communication. Like it's not going to just be, oh, I don't want to, no, I'm choosing silence, right? Because again, I don't want to, I'm not trying to confuse you, but sometimes we need to choose silence, especially if it's something we've said over and over and over and over, begging, over explaining. Remember, we've said it so many times. What's the point on explaining it again? Choose silence, right? Whatever this is that's coming, it's about more than choosing silence. It's about speaking your truth and setting healthy boundaries. So it's not just about, I'm not going to respond to that. It's about, I need to respond to that. I need to bring clarity to the situation. They might not see my perspective, but I see my perspective. And I've got to speak my truth. The black egg, the dragonfly. When in balance, you speak slowly, clearly. Like the way that I'm speaking in this reading, slowly, clearly. This one is then, you're not going to be able to choose silence for this one. This is like a final test here. Right? Can you put up boundaries, speak your truth, protect your energy in a guarded, graceful way? And then uphold that boundary yourself. Don't chase them for an answer. Don't get back into like a clash of the egos. It's about setting that boundary and then choosing silence. But speak your truth, even when it cuts, even when it's difficult. And like I said, this feels so important because current energy, you were choosing silence, which is great for some tests. But this one, speak your truth, even when it cuts. So that doesn't mean call them names. It means speak your truth. Even if they hurt you, and you have to tell them that. Final test before a new beginning, before a new opportunity. Clean energy. This is going to cleanse something within you. All right. Remember, now I'm thinking back to that line. I always think photographic memory. I always think back to the lines that were here in the other decks. And in this line, we had divine feminine and ghosted. So you can't just drop off silently from whatever this one is. Again, could be family. Family first, always. The Eight of Swords, you're not trapped. Could be the person you're in. Anyway. I'm just going to get a few more cards of advice for this one from Tarot. Advice for this one. Advice for this one. Five of Swords. This is what I mean. It's like your survival instincts are coming back up here, your armor. The ways that used to keep you safe. The wet blanket around you, right? Not saying your feelings, not speaking your truth. Self-sabotage. It's going to make you want to protect yourself. Some wins feel like losses. Victory at a cost. You can't take back how you won. Some victories leave scars that never fade. Is it worth the wait? Oh my goodness. I'm getting emotional for some reason. So I am seeing, remember again, everything I'm saying is coming out in the cards. Remember when I said you're going to have to speak your authentic truth and then stand by your boundary? Which means I feel like what's going to happen is you're going to speak your authentic truth and then you're going to trigger this person's ego, whoever it is, and it's going to tempt you to start explaining your boundaries or explaining why or apologizing, over apologizing. This isn't about winning, right? That's distorted energy. This isn't about winning, but some wins feel like losses. It's like you're going to break a powerful karmic cycle here. And it's going to hurt. It's going to sting. But it's going to empower you and bring you a new beginning. Not every battle should be fought. This is what I mean. You're going to speak your truth. I can see it. And somebody's going to... It's going to trigger this old survival pattern within you. I need to stay silent, or I need to over-explain, or I need to apologize for having this boundary. Be prepared that when you speak your truth, whoever this is, there's either going to be silence, ghost, which probably will hurt a bit, or you're going to be tempted to cross your own boundary. And what I mean by that is you could lay out, these are my boundaries, right? And then this person could try to justify subpar behavior. Think about that black egg. Excuses, small talk, noise, lies, not even white ones. No longer making excuses for subpar behavior. Again, I feel not every battle should be fought. So once you speak this truth, don't then get involved in an argument, clash of the egos, defense mechanism, fighting defense mechanism, right? Speak your truth. And then honor your own boundary. This is an important one. This is your moment. Shine without apology. Success follows clarity. After this, there is a shift here. New beginning, positive energy, clean energy, positive outlook, ready for aligned opportunities. But it is going to sting a little, is what I'm hearing. And that's okay. Growth is uncomfortable. Let's confirm this one. That one's really important. This is your moment to break that pattern once and for all, or to pass that test once and for all. Like I said, I feel like you are being tested right now in choosing silence. But this one is going to require spoken words. Or writing. Remember we saw writing? And there's a reason I brought up me writing a few weeks ago. Okay. Fresh start. Whew. Okay, we're done with that one. We're done with that deck, Spirit says. Okay. I just need 1 minute. I just need 1 minute. All right. I just needed a minute to meditate over this. So again, this is very important. There's a very important test here with family. I already said it. Family, friend, work, something along those lines. And then after this, resilience built through every test. One more push, you're almost there. Confirming fresh start, new beginnings, positive outlook, clean energy, ready for aligned opportunities. We have authentic expression, speaking your truth, no longer shrinking, letting your real self shine, alignment over approval. So this could have to do with your purpose or your mission or something that you've been working on, right? But then we've got clean slate. And I have to tell you, the amount of times I've used this deck, this has only come out once. Forgiveness offered. Think about your current energy. You are celebrating your own growth, what's going on in your life, raising your vibration, releasing resentment, finding forgiveness within self. Remember? We do have second chance, emotional renewal, love being restored. So I'm going to say what I'm hearing. You're being tested right now. You're choosing silence. Here you have a very big test with someone who is, I don't think this is the person you're in separation with. I want to be clear about this. I don't think that's what this is. I don't think this has anything to do with the person from the very first deck in separation with. Whoever that is to you. You know who that is. We're not going to label it. Again, could be a friend, could be a family member. But after this, after speaking your truth, boundaries, not engaging in the argument, the fight, right? Some fights are not worth fighting. With this clean slate, second chances, plural, emotional renewal, love being restored. It could have to do with whoever that is you're in separation with, right? Or this could have to do with a friend that you used to have, or family reconnection didn't come out, so I don't think this is a family member. But you've got a new beginning here. Love being restored with someone here, okay? I'm just going to get you some advice on that. I want to break this down, Spirit. Fresh start, authentic expression, clean slate. What is that about? Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords. Communication, clarity, breakthrough. Truth cuts through illusion. Clarity reveals what was hidden. I need my glasses. I don't like to channel with my glasses on, but I can't read without them. Thoughts guide action. Be careful. Intuition, your last row in the very first deck, intuition. Discernment is greater than force. Victory begins with understanding. Clear thinking, strong intent, true direction. See without distortion. Choose your path wisely. Act with precision and purpose. Let truth lead the way. So you've got an Ace of Swords moment here, which again, could be a breakthrough moment, could be a conversation. Why did I just hear community? I was going to say communication. We have Four of Cups. Okay. We have Four of Cups. Not everything deserves your energy. Walking away from something that doesn't fulfill you. So this is something that you walked away from. Remember your last row, the intuition and the walking away. Three of Swords. Healing begins with honesty. Pain teaches truth. Heartbreak. Accept what you cannot change. See beyond the surface, let go of what hurts, find strength in the truth. Time brings perspective. And then we have the King of Swords. And we have the Queen of Swords in this spread, right? This could be an air sign. Again, I don't want to focus on connecting energy, but you've got someone here. I am so grateful for the beautiful memories I've created in my life. The timing of that is so strange to me. Anyway. What does this say? Lead with clarity, discern the truth always, make decisions that serve all. Logic is power, wisdom is legacy. Fairness isn't weakness, it's strength. Protect the people, uphold the truth. See what I mean? It's like you've got someone coming back in your energy who you've been in separation with, that you're seeing the situation clearly. And you know, the King and Queen of Swords coming up, like that definitely feels like a separation situation, no contact. And think about it, you're being tested and you're being called to stand in Queen of Swords energy through whatever this is. And then you've got someone coming forward here wanting a... This even says love, like emotional renewal. Emotional renewal, but it starts with a conversation. And I do feel like you have the discernment to refuse this if it's not aligned with you. Right? Because you can see through... I just heard you can see through the bullshit. But anyway, you can see this very clearly. So if this person did come back in the wrong energy, you would refuse their offer, is what I'm hearing. I'm just going to get a few more for that. Wheel of Fortune. Eight of Pentacles. Remember though, is it worth waiting for? Anyway, let's just keep confirming. I want more about this. More about that. Please, Spirit, what's going on with that situation? We have the Chariot. Judgment. Oh my goodness. Wake up, rise up, answer. It's time to see clearly. You've been called. What's next is yours. The truth calls. You heard the call, now rise. Judgment. A decision. I'm hearing a decision. Chariot. Focus drives destiny. You are the driver. Keep moving. Take the reins. Own your path. Determination. Discipline over distraction. Victory belongs to the determined. Balance will keep you on course. Willpower creates momentum. But anyway, the Chariot does talk about two opposing forces coming together as one. It talks about something coming into alignment. Oh, we have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, I'm hearing two separate things, and I'm going to confirm the love thing. Hang on. There's something here for some of you about mission, and I'm not trying to be confusing, but I have to give the messages I'm hearing. There's something, I got to leave these on for 1 minute. There's something here about your purpose, your mission, self-mastery, Eight of Pentacles, starting your own business, leading others through authentic expression, leading others. King of Wands, like leading others. You set the tone, you lead, the world follows. You set the tone. Lead with fire, inspire with action, build it, protect it, be proud of it. You don't need permission to lead. You set the vision, you make things happen. Confidence isn't loud, it's clear. Vision, courage, action, legacy. Right? So there's something here about you raising your energy, moving into alignment, possibly purpose related, right? You being a leader to others, possibly online, speaking your authentic truth. But then there's like this side thing about a clean slate, love being restored with someone. You set the tone. So make sure you're paying attention to what's going on, intuition internally when this happens. This is getting very complicated. I'm just going to pull a few cards for what this is. Let's just move it all down. Actually, whoops. Let's just move these for a minute. I just want to see what this is. Oh, got communication right there. Nothing. All right. What? Spirit, what is this about? Future energy. Let's see Spirit's perspective. Future energy. All right. I just want to get, well, we'll talk about what came out. Perfect timing. Timing is everything. Just in time. Opportune moment. Auspicious time. There's nothing underneath that. Something happening in divine timing. Wise owl. Smart choices. Lessons learned. Answers are within you. So whatever this is, you're making healthier choices. That's why I said, whatever this is, if it's not aligned with you, you're walking away from it. Like, that's what I saw. You're refusing that offer. Spirit's perspective of what this is, smart choices, lessons learned, right? So you're making smarter choices with whatever this is. It's coming in perfect timing. Again, remember the dream job alignment. So this could have to do with work as well. We have take the cake. You deserve the reward. Have it your way, not settling for less. You are the cake. Love being restored, that's just a topping, right? If that is what this is. And we have cherry on top. Something extra special, better than expected, making it better. And then what? That was it. I'm going to get 2 more for that one. 2 more for that one. It's almost like the hesitation that I'm feeling, I feel like that's what you're going to be feeling. Because you are making smarter choices. It's like Spirit's testing you before this happens, like the final test, right? Someone you've had communication issues with. Remember we talked about that? I think this is someone, again, I don't want to look at their energy, but I think this is someone, whoa, that you haven't, it says partnership. I think this is someone that you haven't heard from in a while, and there's a big test before you hear from this person, okay? An imprint. Whoever this is left an imprint on your soul. You left an imprint on their soul, leaving a mark, forever changed, can't move on, ripple effect. So your growth has had a ripple effect on whoever this is. We have slipping away. Feeling the pressure. Someone, again, we're not reading other people's energy, but I am seeing this as the person that is coming in here feels like it's now or never. And we have third party energy. So there could have been outside influences, or there could be outside influences when this person comes in. There could have been outside influences. Divine timing, rejection is protection. Delaying this, right? Because we have delayed communication on the bottom. I just want to get 2 more. The amount of time I'm spending on this part is important. Like, I wouldn't be doing that for no reason. Learning lessons, expanding awareness. Book of Love, Peter Gabriel. Blast from the past and love offer. That's what I mean. You could have multiple offers in the future. Maybe maybe you need to decide, because maybe there's multiple people. We have love offer, blast from the past. Oh my gosh, reigniting the past. See, it's that person. I know it is. All right. One more. No, it's done. This is important. This is important. The blue jay feathers, it's important. What do you need to know about this? What do you need to know about this? What do you need to know about that situation? What do we need to know about this situation? The fact that I'm so hesitant, I feel like you're going to be hesitant, and that's okay. You don't need to rush to respond to whatever this is. Take your time. Find your center, clarity. Don't be communicating from a place of fear. Vulnerable expression. Say how you feel. What is happening here? Spirit's close to... Anyway. Spirit's like, stop over-explaining. Seriously. Unexpected. It comes in unexpectedly. So this could be someone that's not even on your radar. Shock. Remember, unexpected blessings coming. Sudden, unexpected, someone that you've released. Ripping off the Band-Aid, it's now or never. That's what I was hearing. A surprise. Something that you've released. We have success, win, victory, reputation, success, key experience, whatever. But success, successful outcome, 6 of Wands. Whatever this is, make sure you speak your authentic truth. We have the Empress. Attraction and attractiveness in ourselves and others. Approach it with... I know we talk about balanced energy, so yes, you should have balanced energy, but I'm seeing that yin card. Your power... Allow their actions to tell you who they can be to you. The actions, not just the words, the actions. You don't have to chase this. Oh, for goodness sakeys, we have the Lovers. 4 to 8 weeks. This is important, you guys. This is important. The Lovers, right? A choice. And if it's not aligned, choose yourself. You have a choice here. I'm a little bit, I don't know how long this reading is, but I know I've been here a very long time. And I'm like super, Spirit is... There's a reason I am so... I'm pulling and clarifying so much about this test and then what comes after. The Lovers, within 4 to 8 weeks. I'm going to get one more card from a different deck. It's just, I just want to make sure. I'm being called to. Why? Unfinished Symphony is on the bottom. Now I'm here. So, we have Orphaned. Like, this is... Okay. Card of advice for you about this. Card of advice. Card of advice. Card of advice. The fates? What the fuck? What is going on, Spirit? What is going on? Oh my gosh, I just lost an entire 10 minutes. I don't even know where I left off. I don't know what happened. Ugh, I don't even know where I left off. Hang on. Oh gosh. All right, I'm getting really frustrated. I just spent 20 minutes. I spent 20 minutes recording this part, re-recording it, and it's gone. What are you trying to tell me, Spirit? Do I need to pull another card? Do I need to stop over-explaining? Is that it? Do I need to pull another card? This card is important. I'm going to come back to it. There's a reason twice that didn't record. Why does it look like... Hang on. All right, my beautiful friends. There's something really weird going on in this reading, and I'll try and explain. So I've been stuck on this part for 50 minutes. I've tried to record it 4 times. And now my heart's beating really quickly again. And I had to stop, and I needed to ground myself before I continue on. And the message that Spirit's giving me for this, because I had to go meditate on it, because it was just like anytime I got... We left off on this card. I'm shaking. And then I pulled that card. I'm shaking. And then I pulled these 2 cards, which represent counterpart energy. And I'm not just talking about counterparts twin flames. I'm talking about energetic alignment. And also this card, which is emotional freedom. So what happened is I started over-explaining. And the fact that every time I filmed it, it would just disappear. It wasn't saving. What I got in my meditation was, you're going to be tempted to over-explain. Don't over-explain. Don't start over-explaining yourself. Don't start begging, is what I'm hearing. The main message is you're going to need to stay grounded, because this could stir up some familiar patterns within you. So it's going to be really important when this happens to take time before responding, to take time before speaking, to find your center, right? And to not start over-explaining yourself. It's going to be really important. I don't even know what to do, because I've tried to explain this 5 times. And Spirit is like, they keep disappearing into the void. And I was really... So I had to go ground myself, because I was feeling a little triggered. And I'm taking that as a message that you may feel these triggers. And it's going to be, again, I'm over-explaining again. It's going to be important to ground yourself before responding. This is very important. This feels very important. All right, that part's saved. So I'm going to continue on. So you have fated. So fated connection. This card talks about how this is a fated connection meant to help you both evolve into better versions of yourself, even if that means doing what's right for yourself, Spirit, and this person, and releasing it. This card talks about wanting to make someone into who you want them to be, the potential you see in them, and to understand that you can't change anyone, you can't make anyone change. And if you have to shrink or abandon parts of yourself because this person won't change, then do what is best for you, Spirit, and this person, and let go, which is what I believe you've done. The 17th of the month could be symbolic, whatever month this coming in perfect timing, but the 17th is important. And again, very important message, not to fall back into old patterns. The energetic frequency that you're at, luminous energy, is attracting in chivalrous energy. And the luminous card talks about emotional expression. So when this happens, you need to be able to communicate your authentic truth, your emotions, emotional freedom, authentic expression. The luminous card also talks about how feminines can, we're talking about energy, not gender. Feminines can want to, if their expectations are not being met, even if they haven't said anything, unexpressed expectations, with this luminous card, what can happen is, let's say this person comes back in and then they get busy at work and they can't respond to you. It's important not to fall back into that old perspective. Oh, they haven't changed at all. You need to have patience with this. You need to let it unfold naturally. Look at the lotus. You need to let it unfold naturally. But this energy, I pulled this card for you, specifically says that when you are in this energy, you are attracting in the counterpart energy of the chivalrous energy. I'm going to see if that recorded. We're in business, it's recording. So clearly I was over explaining it. So again, it's going to be important for you to take a step back from this. And I can't remember what part I said it in. There's a reason that I'm dissecting this certain situation. Since we've changed the way we're reading, we're not focused on connecting energy, right? When we used to do readings and there was communication, be like, oh great, communication. This is different. There's a reason I'm spending so much time and energy on this part. It's to prepare you for this. Because again, it might trigger you. You might feel called to chase. You might feel called to jump to assumptions if this person isn't responding as quickly as you want them to. Let's say, for example, you express something vulnerable and then they disappear for a little bit. Don't jump to the conclusion that they haven't changed. And once this luminous and chivalrous card that I pulled, they're connected in the book. So the fact that I pulled both of them, if you don't hold this frequency of one energy of being balanced and you start over-giving, over-explaining, it's going to shift that energy where right now this energy, luminous and chivalrous, are coming together in balance, one energy. The luminous and chivalrous card talk about when these two energies merge, like the Lovers card that we pulled, it empowers and strengthens the connection. Whereas if it's not in balance with the Lovers, if it's imbalanced, it kind of triggers us, right? Triggers growth. This will be an empowering thing. Like you and this person coming together in one energy, balanced energy, uplifting each other, complementing each other energetically. So it's going to be important for you to stay in that balanced energy, which might mean taking a time out, like telling this person, I need a few days to think about this. Take as long as you need to respond to whatever this is. And again, if they take time, don't automatically assume that they haven't changed. This is going to be important because this card talks about when we can become critical. We can start making assumptions based on our own perception, and we can become critical and possibly even like argumentative. And then that triggers that chivalrous energy and it knocks it out of balance. It's also 21, world, completion, new chapter, clean slate. Remember all that? So make sure You're connecting with your heart. You're expressing your feelings clearly, authentically. It also talks about if it takes a little longer for this person to respond, the luminous feminine does not become overbearing or critical. They simply focus on their own life, creating a positive space and room for this person to step up. So you're being called to, again, keep that balanced energy. Don't start overextending yourself. Don't become highly critical and assuming that they haven't changed. Give them a chance. Give them space to step up themselves. Okay? It's going to take patience. And again, if you start feeling stressed about this, or you start feeling triggered, or remember, listen to your body. Take a time out and ground yourself, because that's like 50 minutes is what it took me to get through this part. Chivalrous. This person facing up to many challenges that life presents and protecting the people they love and what they truly believe in. Protector, provider energy. So what's happening is you're calling in, because you're in one energy, you're being your own protector, provider. You're calling in one energy. So if you start taking the lead, masculine energy, if you start overextending, taking the lead, making plans, over explaining, sending messages, trying to almost quicken the connection, the reconnection, it's gonna tip it out of balance. You have to give this person a chance to step up here. This energy helps the feminine to thrive in their feminine energy. You are calling in this energy into your life. But be aware, it's not about just going through the motions. It's about understanding the subtle interplay of masculine and feminine energies at play. Tapping into the sublime source of nurture, warmth, support, and love. So avoid becoming overly critical. It also mentions a compliment. I'm not saying shrink yourself and compliment this person and praise them and, oh goodness, thank goodness you're back. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that chaser energy possibly being triggered, you wanting to step up and organize, control it, right? By sending more messages, or when can we see in person? Did you guys see the moment my plant moved? Did I show you that? At one moment, I said something and the plant moved, and then I showed you my prayer plant, and the plant's leaves are all down except this one. Anyway, the plant moved, kind of confirmation. And then we have Clean It Up 21, another world energy completion. And this one is about, it's time to clear something up. You take responsibility for your side of the street. They take responsibility for their side of the street. It's going to require patience. Again, don't jump to assumptions. Remember, shift in perspective. If they're not responding, I am trying new strategies until I succeed. Try a new strategy than you did in the past. This is important. I'm spending so much time on this one part. This is important. So again, if you find yourself overthinking about them or any of that, start focusing on self. Don't start overgiving to the situation. Stay in your one energy. And when you're in one energy, I was trying to explain it by using Brie and I as an example, both in one energy, right? So some days her and I just don't align, right? And I'm not talking about our opinions. I'm talking about our schedules. And we don't jump to conclusions about, oh, maybe she's mad at me, and oh, maybe she's this, and oh, maybe she's that. And start over giving and over explaining. It's just acceptance. Like, today's a perfect example. I had to, all that time I lost recording, then I had to meditate. By the time I'm supposed to be talking to her, by the time I'm done, she'll be doing a reading, then I'll be doing stuff, right? It has nothing to do with our love for one another. It's just a schedule thing. And that's important. I'm bringing it up for a reason. This is important for this collective. I hope this recorded. There's something about this that's very important. Like I said, I don't remember the last time I did I just feel this is a very important reading for whoever it's for. And again, don't start over explaining. Don't start over explaining. Ground yourself. Find your center before you try and communicate. That's what I had to do, right? Getting to the core of a situation, freedom from a burden, cleaning house, sweeping away what's no longer needed, cleaning house, clean slate. Time to clear the air, take a look at your side of the street and say what's on your mind. Sweep away the old stuff. And I'm not talking about messaging this person. This person is going to come towards you. Sweep away the old stuff so that a spring breeze, the card came out, remember? Can flow through with new energy. It's the perfect time to do an inventory of your dynamic and see what's yours and what's not yours to clean up in the relationship. Everybody brings some baggage. Sort through what you brought with you and let go of what is no longer needed. Become unencumbered and your relationship will flourish. Honest communication. Speak your authentic truth. Don't hold back. Don't have a fear if you say the wrong thing, this person's going to run again, right? But also don't go in there all guns blazing. Like blame, 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 blame. You always do this, you always do that. Highly critical. Because this person could just as quick, right? Just disappear just as quick. This is important. So I'm going to get you one more card because, again, it's almost like Spirit's like, they've got this. Stop it. Stop over explaining it to them and trust them. I'm going to get you one of these because remember I felt called to this deck earlier. One card from this deck. Magnetism through gratitude. You, magnetic. And we have your prayers are being answered. Buffalo, stay grounded. Stay grounded. Where's the book? Where's the book? Where's the book? There it is. Don't panic if this person doesn't respond quickly enough is what I'm hearing. I just opened it up to just trust. This card is a mighty confirmation. Feel a breath of relief and get excited. It is safe to trust. It's going to happen for you. That was weird. 12. Your prayers are being heard, but it is of the utmost importance that you stand in unwavering faith that they are coming to fruition. Endure the time and uncertainty because your deepest heart's desired will be manifested. Act like a person whose prayers have already been answered. Trust. Anyway. Really strange that all happened. It all happened for a reason. Remember that. Why am I being called to that divine timing deck? Let's just see what comes out. Divine timing deck. Be clear, Spirit. Oh my gosh, be clear. Be clear. Be clear, be clear with this message. Divine timing. What do we need? New moon to full moon. We're about to have a new moon, the solar eclipse. Seeds planted now will grow within 2 weeks. When you say no, A closed door now leads to the right path later. Remember that whole thing about the important test. You're saying no to something and then something else is coming in, and I keep getting emotional. I don't know what's going on here. Virgo season. Details matter. August 23rd to September 22nd. In divine timing. And then Spirit closed the deck. The universe is orchestrating the perfect moment. Don't rush. But we've got, when you say no to something, when you speak your truth, the Queen of Swords, you saw it. It feels like I recorded that hours ago, even though I didn't. Virgo season. August 23rd to September 22nd. I don't know why September 17th could be symbolic, or 19th, August 30th, August 19th. Divine timing, new moon to full moon. And we're about to have a new moon, I think. Seeds planted now will grow within 2 weeks. And then this is the one that came flying out. This week. A breakthrough or answer will come before the end of this week. It's Sunday, so timeless reading though. 7 days is what I'm hearing. Something's going to happen within 7 days, possibly where you need that middle. You were here. You were here. This feels important. This is important. This is powerful. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing a card. It's like the bridge to happiness, and the whole message is about how spirits are letting go now. Like, you've got this. And that's kind of the energy that I'm feeling right now. I don't know why I'm feeling emotional. Like, I have to just let you go and go through this. But I don't wanna. All right, I'm gonna go because Spirit's telling me to stop. I'm gonna go. I love you guys so much. Sorry for the confusing bit, although I shouldn't be apologizing. It all happened for a reason. It all happened for a reason. The energy that I was embodying, the fact that I had to go ground myself, I had to cool off, I had to recharge my phone. All right, I'm gonna go. But I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.